Good morning, all you beautiful beings of light out there, all you love streamers and everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, wherever you are. I am Horace, your host, and we want to welcome you to our Center for Spiritual Living, Charlotte. If this is your first time, we are delighted that you have chosen us, that you have joined us today. And we want you to know that with modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially as we share the wonderful happenings here at CSL Charlotte. So please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org. Definitely put in a prayer request and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. So let me tell you more about who we are, the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. We are a new thought community living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. So let me tell you more about him. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for all of us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. He's been referred to as the great synthesizer. At CSO Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinction. We are a diverse, open, and affirmative community. There are many paths to the divine. We may call it God, peace, love, spirit, infinite mind, or the I am presence. It really doesn't matter what you call it. What really matters is that you know that this is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many of the holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. And that is just to name only a few. So let me tell you about our vision here at CSO Charlotte. And that is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of each and every individual. So, one of our aims here at CSO Charlotte is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So, come and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening for our consciousness meeting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we're going to tell you more about that in our opportunities because you definitely want to know more about what we do on Tuesday evenings because we have such a transformative experience there. So welcome everyone and enjoy our services as we welcome this powerful being which lives and resides within each and every one of us. So, before I pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, I want to first tell you what our theme is, which is creating your spiritual prototype. And with that, I just want to leave you with this brief thought before I pass it over to her. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. And that is Leon Brown. Let me say that again. I want this to soak in. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. And with that thought, I'm going to pass it over to our fabulous, illustrious leader, Reverend Rosedale.
That was just phenomenal. You know, Horace the Bush, that was fabulous because that's spot on about what the spiritual prototype does if we pay attention. Whoa, awesome stuff. So thank you to our fabulous MC and operation coordinator, Horace the Bush. Now, to our YouTube listeners and our virtual community, anybody that's listening to us, welcome always. You can watch us as many times as you want from anywhere. So, this is the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, the Mind Body Spirit Center. And I just want to give you a brief reminder that tomorrow is Earth Day. Now, I'm not sure whether I want to see it as an observation day or celebration. So, everybody, just do what you do. The first Earth Day was held in 1970, like 54 years ago. And since then, Earth Day fell on April 22nd every year. Got that from Reverend Karen. So and the thing is, what they did was they ended up mobilizing over 2 million people in 141 countries, and all of them recognize it. That's fabulous. I mean, I learned about this last year, but I'm just saying it's really nice to know. So really what the Earth Day is all about in a nutshell is to just get together with a collective consciousness about our ecosystem. There's a lot of people who very much are all into that. And I say, hats off to you. That's a fabulous place to be because each and every one of us have different posts. But just wanted to let you know, I know about that. So the first thing we do in our spiritual community is open our Sunday celebration with an affirmative prayer. So today we're all about crafting a spiritual mind prototype, but actually it's crafting your spiritual mind prototype. So first on the platform is the one who opens our celebration with an affirmative prayer. And today you're going to hear our prayer warrior, Reverend Karen, and you'll hear in her prayer whether she's crafting her spiritual prototype. So if you want a prayer to learn about your crafting your spiritual prototype, put in a prayer request. In fact, go to our website now and request to start crafting your spiritual prototype. Oh my God, it's been happening for me. Oh, it's been happening, but it's for years. But just try it. And in this way, you can read your prayer every day. But here's the thing. You have to put in a prayer request in order to get Mo, our spiritual practitioner, to send you a prayer in your inbox. Okay, Karen, so let it rip.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Rosedale. And I am so excited for this talk today because spiritual prototypes, wow, I can change them as I want to. My prototype just changes all the time. However I want her to be, she is beautiful, fabulous, successful, rich, everything. And it's beautiful. And I take my prototype from God because as I identify spirit, the creator of all life on all levels and all forms, that spirit, that universal spirit of creativity has planets and universes full of prototypes. So it can see through our eyes, it can act through our actions in all forms and in all ways. And this is so beautiful and so important in all of our lives, as I know that as I wake up each morning, I wake up seeing through the eyes of God, seeing through the eyes of that spiritual, beautiful, creative power that made me and made all forms on all levels and of consciousness and all shapes, all sizes, everywhere I look, everything I touch has that spirit of creativity, that light of God within it. And knowing this and in being prepared for this beautiful message that is coming through one of God's beautiful prototypes in the form of Reverend Rosedale, I know that God speaks through her beautifully, clearly, eloquently, and has a message for each and every one of us. And I am so excited to hear it today and know that Reverend Rosedale is at peace. She is beautiful. She speaks from her heart always. She speaks with love and she speaks with truth. And knowing this, please join me as I release this beautiful prayer for all of us to see our prototypes as beautiful, as enrichment of who we are and more than what we think we can be. And knowing this, Please join me as we release this prayer into the universal law, the creativity, the power of that which created and continues to create all life. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Reverend Karen, did you spot on? So now there is no question in anybody whether or not she's crafted her spiritual prototype. That's for sure. So, Karen, Reverend Karen, thank you so much for that prayer. So, next on our platform is our reader, and that would be Geraldine Campbell, who's way out there in Dallas, Texas, and her name is actually Groovy G to me. Oh, I liked it. It rhymes. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Anyway, it's obvious that she knows what crafting her spiritual prototype is all about and what it means to her. So listen to her reading today. I ride around in her yellow RV so much, and she's wanted it, and she's decided that she'd have it, and there it is in this service, right? So listen to her reading today and you'll go to work crafting your spiritual prototype but for yourself, I promise. So after Groovy's reading, listen to the song One Power by Daniel Nahman. So prepare yourself to start crafting your spiritual prototype. And Groovy, just make it do what it do.
Good morning, everyone. It is such an honor to be able to share the following reading that was written by our very own Rosedale Jones. And the title is Unveiling the Power of Spiritual Prototypes. The concept of spiritual prototypes as a means to manifesting positive outcomes in our lives is another way to pique your interest enough to get you practicing. It's about recognizing that a divine power resides within us, expressing through us in our thoughts and intentions. By tapping into this inner spirit or God and aligning our thoughts confidently, we have the power to construct prototypes, to guide ourselves towards our desired outcomes. The spiritual prototype is the mental equivalent to visioning. We engage all our senses, sight, hearing, smell, and emotions to see. Seeing is metaphorically linked to the practice of visioning. All we have to do is allow ourselves to thoroughly use our own senses. Exploring the various names for God and understanding how the Spirit operates within us transforms our approach to life, as well as life's challenges. In other words, our inner spirit is also referred to by the many names we call God, such as spirit, universe, source energy, the power within, etc. Consider this a fresh perspective on spirituality and manifestation. The spiritual prototype has the potential to fascinate, motivate, and inspire you to engage in more of your own spiritual practices. Remember to be mindful of your daydreams, as well as which side of the love and fear spectrum you live on at any given time. Consequently, as you allow your body to be prompted by your mind, everything in your spiritual prototype manifests in your physical realm. This is because you are constantly crafting everything you think about as a prototype in the spiritual realm. Be mindful of the thoughts you speak and repeat to yourself and others. The following is a quote from Reverend Rosedale Jones. When we vividly imagine our desired outcomes, the brain interprets this mindful practice as an authentic experience. Therefore, our desires must show up. And so it is.
Call it Jesus, call it Lord. I just had to finish that off. Let's breathe in with a short centering. Relax your eyes by actually looking into your lap or closing them, but it's your choice. Now breathe in really deep and really long. And then as you slowly exhale, recognize that song, One Power, describes crafting your spiritual prototype in and of itself. It does it in the form of love for each other, for looking at people. It's just one power. Whether you're Catholic, Baptist, whatever you choose, that whatever philosophy you're in, but also know that that one power lives in you. You create with it. You are one with the power. So the power is the beautiful thing, because what we do with it is we lead it by our focus of our mind. It's nothing outside of us telling us what to do. We lead it by our focus of our own mind. And so the best way to recognize that you and the power are one power is to use that mind and allow that mind to prompt your body to go do what you need to go do. Because you see, the longer you have your mind on something, the better it is to get that craft, because it is now imprinting. Even if it's something you don't like, you're making an imprint. So when you see things you don't like, yes, your prayers are answered. So deepen your practice and recognize when you're crafting, and recognize that you're always crafting this beautiful, magnificent spiritual prototype. But remember, it's your choice. Now, I have one simple question. Now that you know whatever you do and say, and you do it long enough, you're crafting your spiritual prototype. It's time. Now, let me ask you, is it time for you to start your own crafting of a spiritual prototype for yourself? And you will know, as I always say, you are totally at choice, whether you choose to use spiritual practices or you just live and, however you want. But either way, you're crafting. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your body, mind, and spirit. And as you open your eyes and find yourself back here, look around your space. Because now we have to feel this one power. And when you look around your space, connect with something in your space that brings you to this present moment. Good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for this gratitude moment that I love, because gratitude is what I always say. It's the attitude that brings me to the altitude where I get my mind focused to the point where manifestations, bang, happens. So my gratitude says, thank you, Horace the Bush, for being our coordinator and also for emceeing. And thank you, Reverend Karen, for your incredible opening prayer about the spiritual prototype. It's no question that you craft yours. And thank you, Groovy, for your beautiful reading. Although it was a tongue twister, I never heard it. So you were fabulous, because your reading that's entitled Unveiling the Power of Spiritual Prototypes, is beautiful. And it points the way exactly to crafting. So here's what I know. In the realm of spiritual prototype, it's the root. Okay, it's the root of spiritual ideas. It's the root of visioning. That's what it is. And it operates on the basis of further training of your mind, just constant training of your mind. That's all I can tell you. And your vision reproduces your reality. So when you are saying, that car, they better be careful before they hit themselves. Now, when you saying that, if you see that vision coming through, watch it. When you see that vision, you are imprinting. So it's going to reproduce some reality. See, the term prototype itself, it just refers to an original or an initial version of something being reproduced. That's what a prototype is. But a spiritual prototype I'm just using these words because I love them. They just make sense for me, right? A spiritual prototype is crafted by your imagination, and all these ideas you're having are being imprinted into the memory. Everything in the memory got to come out of somewhere because the mind controls everything. But to think that many, many years people thought out there controls them. That's why it hasn't been easy for many people to get into it. But here's how you can get into it: by writing, by making audio. I make audio things of myself, talking about my thing, my spiritual prototype, my thing, videos. Okay. Also, I write, I do audios. There's a lot of methods you can use to get this thing into your memory. You see, our ideas get imprinted when you're on it long enough. But here's the thing. When I focus my ideas for long enough time, I manifest my best ideas in my life. Oh my God, the things that's happening to me now where people are constantly calling me and introducing me to more people, to get retreats done, to do things that I want to do, the spiritual healing, all of these wonderful things are just happening because that's what I see. So what about you? Are you willing to develop that keen sense to manifest your ideas? Because it's just a thing of cultivating, developing. That's all it is. See, an example of a spiritual prototype is something that you're constantly saying about. Here's something that may not be on the love side for you. You might say, I might keep off every time I say to you, let's go out to dinner. And you constantly say, I don't have money to go to dinner. Or you constantly say you don't have money to do that. Or you constantly say you can't because that. You are developing and crafting a spiritual prototype. Yes. You see, so it doesn't matter. Prayers are always answered. Don't get it twisted. People think their prayers are not. Yes, they are. But you got to train that mind. Remember, I said that in the beginning. Okay. What I know is I only need solid ideas in my memory and then I don't have to allow those fleeting thoughts. Because now listen, just because you have a fleeting thought in and out, that doesn't mean anything. You didn't give it time to. In fact, if you changed the affirmation right off the bat, you didn't give it a chance to imprint. When you said, oh, you saw a child about to fall, or you saw yourself about to fall, people do the same things to themselves, But anyway, you saw yourself, then all of a sudden you said, oh no, that's not for me. Immediately that fleeting thought goes away. It doesn't get a chance to get imprinted. Making sense? So this way, I allow my fleeting thoughts to move somewhere else in the world. You don't belong here with me because I manifest my world. And I can continue to do that. I'm the one who who craft these things. See, I'm getting stuck with the word create and craft together. So anyway, besides, research shows that these fleeting thoughts don't last long enough to be imprinted. It's serious. It's science. See, but here's the good news. I got to say it again to make you feel good. Fleeting thoughts that do not serve you can't manifest unless you spend enough time on them. Now, me, I'm very clear about what I focus on. And I'm very clear that everything I focus on is my choice of focus. Because when I do catch myself focusing on the wrong thing, I say, whoa, be here now. Whoa, this is the present moment. Be here. This is your moment. I have to keep talking to myself. And after crafting my spiritual prototype, what I do is I am enabling myself to sit down every single morning, and which I do, and I read my prototype that I've written, because sometimes what I do is I speak it into my computer and it types it out for me. Or sometimes I may say, oh, I'm going to type it because I want it in my fingers. I want it in my memory, right? And then I get to visualize what I say and I read it over and over. Sometimes I add more stuff to it. But what you say, feel, hear, and touch is your sight. Now, here's the deal. It's crucial to articulate or write it in the present tense as though it is happening and unfolding right now. Not, I will, or I want, or I wish. None of that. Because you go on the opposite. See, the advantage of this or that or whatever, however you do it, is that the mind can't distinguish what's the true thing. So if you go into one and trust me, you're going to do it because you're a human being. If you go off into a mind of something and you're out there thinking and it's something that's not good or doesn't serve you, the mind doesn't know if it's true or not. And if you keep doing that and you keep doing that the first thing in the morning, you got that on your mind, it's your worry. Guess what you're putting out there? Guess what you're manifesting? Okay? Your mind cannot distinguish what's true. That's why I say to you, man, I got thousands of people constantly coming to me. I've got it going on to the point where I get people sending. I had a lady last week who said to me, hey, I got these tickets and I would like you to go to this workshop. It's going to be something you're going to really love. And she was so right because I didn't even know if I wanted to go. But I said, hey, it's free. And I meant that much to her that she said, I want you to have it. So I went yesterday and Friday, and it was phenomenal. That's why I emphasize on using our imagination, especially in the classes. I don't know if y'all hear me, but I say that all the time. Your imagination is everything. This is just another way for me to get at it, just like my reading said. Oh yeah, this is just another way for me to interest you, if you will, into spiritual practices, the word spiritual prototype. Maybe next week I might say something, I don't know what I'm going to say next week. But anyway, ultimately, you manifest what you visualize repeatedly over and over. I need to say this over and over because repetition is the mother of skill. So it doesn't matter if you're reading, listening to a recording, watching a video, or reading something in print. You are definitely in the manifestation mode, regardless of what you're thinking about. Things manifest in our lives due to, I say it again, repetitive process. See, here's the deal, and I don't know if you know, but we have all played a part in the transformative world of spiritual prototypes. Some people transform to the worst part of their lives because of the spiritual prototype they created. Some people transform to the best. And I must say it again, I am the happiest woman I've ever been in my life because that's all I can see is how happy I am. And I start making up reasons why. Like, for example, I can see I'm going down the street and I'm seeing all this beautiful scenery like I did yesterday. And yesterday was fabulous because I was driving through a road that I found, and I'm going to use it again, but it was all foresty and it was all spooky looking. It was so beautiful. And then I went into my senses. I started feeling this. I said, my sight, my sound, I can smell those leaves and what is this spring, this season? Spring coming out in the air. Even my emotions were intact. Beautiful. So in Groovy's reading, she read that how we engage our senses, we engage our sight, we engage our hearing, we engage our smell, we engage our emotions when we see something. When you feel excited about something you saw in your mind or felt the presence of, because you see, I teach people when we're doing certain things, when we're working out, I tell them you got to come forward, you got to go backwards, because I want you to be aware of the density, the space you're in. Because when you start to recognize what you're in, how powerful that spirit and you are connected. So seeing, like she said also in the reading, it's metaphorically linked to visioning. And so hearing also, taste. And one of the guys said to me yesterday, and he said, he said, he doesn't realize what he was saying, but he said, oh my goodness, you know what? When life is good, I can taste it. I said, you see, this guy is kinesthetic, but I'm not going to be up. I'm just saying in my mind, I'm listening to people because that's the way he said. He said he tastes his success. And I was like, whoa, dude, you're on. See, all we have to do is allow ourselves to thoroughly use our own senses to see. So what happened is whether we live on the fear side or the love side, our visions are seen through our senses. Smell. You ever pass by something and you smell something? Sometimes I smell my mom. Things like that. What we focus on grow. All those practices have direct and immediate effects on our well-being. Immediately. The minute you start saying, oh, I'm going to get into this practice, immediately, directly, it's going to go for your well-being because you're telling yourself, I'm going to get in here. Oh, so what? Do you just remember this argument you just had with so-and-so, or you just got kicked, whatever, blocked off the road by some other driver or something like that. And here you are still talking about that driver 20 minutes later. Okay? Guess what you're carrying? Your spiritual prototype. Make no mistake about that. Because you see, there is this powerful energy or electricity operating in our nervous system right now, 24/7. The nervous system carries all vibrations. The nervous system carries all vibrations in and through and around us every single day. So powerful. So it is really up to you and me to allow our mind to position us to where we need to be to activate our good. We got to let the mind. See, now, this is why. Neuroscience research has shown that mental imagery activates the same neural paths as an actual physical experience. Do you know about the study where I read a story where the basketball, they would just see themselves doing that, one team. Another team would see themselves winning and they as their sight, hear the loud roar of the crowd as they're dunking in baskets and all that. The baskets, the people who actually experience that in the mind are the ones who won. So the prefix neuro, it just indicates the connection, all the neural paths. And that's why it's very important to know that it's encompassing everything from the structure and the function of our nervous system. And that's what they do, neuroscience. They study and they give treatment for neurological disorders. Some people have them, right? But it doesn't have to be a disorder. Make a decision right now and today to stop allowing the body to tell you to lay down, especially when you know you got somewhere to be. Because a lot of times I don't know. Now, see, because I didn't know where I was going Friday, it almost tried to tell me, oh, you know what? How you going to do that? Remember, you got 6 o'clock, you got draft. So you're going to do. I said, you're going. So don't try it. You're going to start right here. Let's do this. You have to talk to you because you're the only person that can. You're the only person with the power to do so. So it just simply makes sense that visualizing our goals, we actually prepare our minds to perceive them. What's in the reality? It becomes tangible. It becomes attainable because we have it imprinting all the time. So you can't grow your income with the thought you don't have enough. Every time you think about something, oh, I don't have, I don't even mean to say I don't. I do have enough. Because all I do is tell myself, you know what? You need that? You want that? Don't stop buying stuff because you need to make more money. Then I go into my thing. So the best action to take and the best outcome is just allow your mind to prompt your body to move. If it tells you, okay, go downstairs and move your car right now. I don't feel like it. Yeah. Go move your car because you want to be right there tomorrow. And that's a spot. Go get it. I did that one day, and there was somebody there that had a message for me. So if your body prompts your mind, you are taking yourself out. Don't let the body, listen to me clearly. If your body prompts your mind, the opposite of the mind prompting the body, you are taking yourself out of getting the manifestation that serves you. Because you're told, lay down. That's the body prompting the mind. Other way around, the mind must prompt the body. Visualization and action are two key components in getting all the things you imagine. Because yes, you vividly imagine your desired outcomes. Yes, your brains do interpretate, okay. Interpret mental practices and real practices. Yes, you have all of that. But one of the things I do know is if I'm telling people, and my favorite line is to leave this on to another person when I'm out there and I'm networking or whatever. I'll say, you know what? I'm inviting people to call me to facilitate classes for them. To maybe some people, if you know anybody who actually has a meeting coming up where they need somebody to do what I do, I'm a spiritual mind, body, spirit work group exercise person. So you could just call me. Yes, because that spiritual prototype, I'm saying that so much that I'm hearing people tell me, hey, Rosedale, I got this. I walked into a gym the other day and this girl said, remember me? Boom, I was supposed to go in there. All I was doing, I was going in there to see if I was looking for this particular person I wanted to see, but then I ran into her. So I was supposed to, I prompted. So anyway, just saying that's enough of that. You just got to tell yourself who the boss is, and it's my mind, not my body. So one of the biggest things about, spiritual prototypes is that love side. I say you either on the fear side or the love side, but the love that you use is a higher love. So asking yourself for a higher love simply means you love yourself enough to take the time to go into your spiritual practices. And then you create these prototypes. And if your mind is busy, you better work it, because if you saying that, oh, I got this chatter mind, that means that you're going to get those things that's in the chatter. Fix it. It's your journey. So when you request a higher love from yourself, what you're doing is you're bringing yourself to a higher place so you can get that altitude, so you can be on the place that manifests best for you. So listen to this song. It's Higher Love. This next song, and I want you to listen to the words. Don't just listen to the songs, because it does mean something for you. And listen to the song Higher Love by Soul Sanctuary. That was beautiful. Did y'all like that song? Because I sometimes be dancing and then I forget where I am. But I'm telling you, bring me a higher love. That's not asking somebody up there to do this. That's you asking the core to bring it out. You see, when she first started, she said, think about it. There must be a higher love. And she said, without it, we're just wasting time. This is a beautiful thing. So you have to start crafting that spiritual prototype if you want to be in control of your life. Thank you so much. So that said, I want to piggyback on something you said, Timmy P, which was, which is very, to me, important, because I saw the same thing. I'm seeing people going to our website now and requesting wonderful things. Like one person, two people requested to just be subscribers to receive emails. So that's really, really, really good. So, guys, thank you so much for Timmy P, thank you for reminding me of that. Also, I love what everybody's chatting on this morning as they're all seeing stuff. Just the mere thought of a spiritual prototype makes people's minds start to run. So I see a lot of stuff going on. Karen's got that publishers clearinghouse. And I saw something with Mo. I saw Melissa. I saw them all just like, whoa. So this is the time when we talk about birthdays. I love this. Here's the thing. This is the day we came to be. You know, sometimes like even this morning, my clock, I saw 11:21 because that's my birthday, right? I see that if whenever I see 11:21, I say, "Oh, this is a good moment for me to do this, to do that." You know, it's the day I came to be. So a couple of minutes ago, I just said that to myself. It's your birthday. And I do that to myself. So now it's 11:25. It's over now. But anyway, you know what I say about birthdays. And you also know I don't know yours. So if you're on YouTube and you'd like to have your birthday acknowledged, do so. Because the more you do that, the more you're showing yourself how important you are to the world. You are a beneficial presence on the planet. And besides that, you are the reason that you came to be. So just jot it down and just a month and a day, and we can know that. So that said, everybody, you know what I like to do? These big old gratitude shout outs to everybody on this platform. This morning we had our MC, Horace DeBush. We had our open and closing prayer with Reverend Karen. And thank you also to Groovy for that reading that message. It meshed so well. It brought harmony to the whole talk. So thank you. And that's why she is my spiritual harmony steward. I like making up names. Don't even ask me where I get them from. But you know what? She also keeps the place clean and tidy up when we're on the air. You know, all is well. She's making sure it's nice and easy. So thanks, Timmy P, for being the pilot and showing up for the music and the announcements today, because you really keep us informed the way you do the announcements. It's just awesome. But all you guys are great. But anyway, thank you, Melissa. She's probably going out now for the spotlighting and all that wonderful stuff. And our practitioner, she's chomping at the bits. She's the one who handles the prayer requests. So I want you to know we're waiting to see those prayer requests go online. Timmy P said, you may be having a great life and you just want to say, acknowledge it anyway. Be in that place of gratitude. Oh, I had this wonderful experience today and I just want to see more. And that's okay. So wonderful. Just know that we got Mo over there that's going to answer you. So just send them on in there. And my right hand man, Alan, he's always here. He's doing a little AV thing, but he's quiet on the set here. So it's all good. So I think I got us all. Mm-hmm. Oh, and thank me, because I'm grateful for being here. I'm grateful for being alive. Okay, so let me just say that sometime. I'm just grateful for thanking myself for being here all these years to tell myself this is what I want to do. So, yeah, good. So, before our last song, let's consider that today it was all about crafting your spiritual prototype. Can you do it for a week? I'm telling you, man, if you could see what's going on in my life, remember, when you are ready to start crafting your spiritual prototype, you're really going to come to love your new life's adventures. Groovy says she's going to do it forever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So also, before we close our Shauna B said, everyone, I thought she was going to say she did it. Okay, good. So before we close out our service, what we're going to do is I am going to get that last song going on. I know I was going to do something. You know how you go in your kitchen and go, what am I here for? Well, that was one of those moments where, and I don't believe in senior moments, so don't even go there with me. But anyway, and this whole thing is also, when we said bring me a higher love, you also want to know how to love yourself. You already know that, but you giving all your time for things. Now you're going to stop doing that, I know, because you're going to be crafting your spiritual prototype all week. So before Reverend Karen prays us out, listen to this song called Love Myself. And this is by Tracy Ellis Ross. This is Diana Ross's daughter. Just saying. So let's hear Love Myself. Did you hear that? she says, all I want to do is just put the phone down. I just want to tell myself. She says, well, sometimes I feel like I'm lonely sometimes, but I just tell myself it's all good, right? Love myself. That's how you love yourself. Tell yourself it's not what you just heard. It's not what you just thought the news break message was. It's not that. It's what you say. Ooh, that song that I got to do that. I love that song. You say also, but what you say, what she says. I love that. I love that line. So anyway, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to wrap up with Reverend Karen's praying us out. So Reverend Karen, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. What a beautiful way to close our service and go through our day, our week, loving ourselves and knowing that when we love ourselves, it manifests. Our prototype of love comes out from who we are into this world. And as I go into this prayer, knowing that God is the prototype of love, that God is the prototype of each and every one of us for the possibilities that we have in our lives as we love ourselves. We open up our minds, we open up our thought processes to the beauty, to the creativity that we are. And that's what this message brought to me. It brought to me my inner talk. It brought to me the positive inner talk to just appreciate who I am, appreciate who I bring into this world. I bring myself as the best version of who I am into this world. And that's my prayer for each and every one of us, for myself and each and every one who's listening to this broadcast today or later on today or later in the week, whenever, to love ourselves, to look at ourselves in a positive way. If we don't like our hair, look at our hair as a beautiful, beautiful hair or a beautiful bald head, whatever. And that is what we bring into the world. If we don't like the way we dress, think of the way we dress as beautiful, as chic and lovely and snappy and just wonderful. And that's how we will dress. Think of ourselves as the love that we bring. If we don't love ourselves, how can we bring love into this world? We do it. We do it as Reverend Rosedale said in her talk. We love ourselves. It's a beautiful song. We love ourselves. Love ourselves. That is what God wants. When we love ourselves, we don't want to have children that don't love themselves. God doesn't want to have children that don't love themselves. That is who we are. That is what we do. So please, 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 let us look at ourselves differently. Let's look at ourselves with love and anticipation and wonder, and knowing that our minds create and manifest our lives just the way we want them to. And in knowing this, and in gratitude for being here, and gratitude for this beautiful platform of which I am so honored to be a part of. And when I think about the ways and the roads I had to travel to get here, they were all of God. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And please join with me right here and right now as we make a promise to ourselves to be nice to ourselves, to love ourselves, and to encourage us, each and every one of ourselves, to be the best we can be. And together, as we release this prayer, together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Wow, that was phenomenal. The whole service was fun. Everything, everybody hit the ball back and forth. I love that thought of seeing it going from one place perfectly well. So it was just so wonderful, all the way down to the prayer. So as we wrap up our time together, let's practice this week to start crafting. And I'm not asking you to do it, I'm always doing mine. Crafting your spiritual prototype this week. How many people will say they did? It would be nice if you did, but that's okay. I'm doing mine. So use your one power within this week to practice and get some results. So you can say, oh, it might have been small, but at least you see that what I did worked. Remember, the universe is constantly supporting us. So until we get again, until we meet again, stay happy and remember, crafting your spiritual prototype is going to change your life. See you on whatever. Have a great day.